welcome to our channel. I say our, even though it's just one person here. Me and my son have decided to start a channel reviewing boxing gloves. We've been avid boxing glove collectors for about a year now. We have a collection of about 50 gloves, which you can see most of in the reflection of the mirror back there. We have gloves, all kinds of gloves, training gloves, pro fight gloves, all kinds of weights from 10 ounce to 16 ounce, even more. Gloves from all over the world, made in the US, made in Mexico, especially made in Mexico, made in the UK, Pakistan, and so on and so forth. After some thinking, we decided what our first video was gonna be, which, welcome to our first video. Our first review was gonna be a good old classic, Cleto Reyes. We decided to go with Cleto because anybody that's been in the boxing world or anybody that's familiar with boxing knows that Cleto Reyes is one of the classic brands. They've been around for decades, have been used in all kinds of pro fights at all kinds of levels and all kinds of weight classes. Looking at the glove, as you can see, this is the 14 ounce training version with the Velcro strap. It's a beautiful glove. I mean, there aren't many gloves that look just as nice as a Cleto Reyes glove does. The leather is second to none. Very glossy, very beautiful, and it stands the test of time. These gloves, you can still see gloves from the 80s available, you know, in the secondhand market, and they're in excellent condition. And not many brands can say that. Cleto Reyes is one of them. On the outside, this glove is the second to none. I mean, the leather, it's intact. And you know, when you open up a brand new Mexican leather glove, when you take it out of its wrap, that smell is incredible. It is second to none. Putting the glove on, as you can see, it's a very good fit. Let's strap this up here. You do have this this strap here to pull the wrist closed a little bit, kind of helps. Punch surface, very flat punch surface, very natural fist. The thumb is in great position. The thumb is pretty straight, but not dead straight, not flat and angled. It's very natural. When you make a natural fist with a Cleto Reyes glove, it is very, very natural. The fist compartment fits well. I'm a big guy, I have bigger hands, you know, I'm not a lightweight by any means. And my hand fits in there very comfortably. The fist position, as I said, is a very flat fist. The thumb is very wide. There's no pinching, no squeezing. Same thing goes for the finger compartment. No pinching, no squeezing. You're not thinking about, you know, your fingers aren't going numb when they're in use, when you're working, when you're sparring, or whatever it is that you're doing with them. And that's one thing that you want to think about. You don't want to be wearing your gloves, doing your training, and thinking, oh man, I can't feel my pinky, or I can't feel my thumb, or my gloves hurts. Kind of takes away from your focus, and you know, anything can happen from there. The grip bar, it's a very good grip bar, very natural grip bar. You don't feel it along your pinky, which is, it has a slight degree lean towards the pinky, which kind of helps with the fist closure. It's a very good grip bar. I don't know what material they use to make the grip bar. It's not like a winning glove where it's like a piece of plastic. This is a more foamy grip bar, but works very well. The one thing I'm not a fan of these gloves, this specific Velcro version, is the wrist flexibility. As you can see, for a training glove, it has a lot more flexibility in the wrist than I would like. There has been a couple times while I was using them, I have stung my wrist wearing these gloves. No injuries, but you know, it's something to keep in mind. If you're looking for a stiff wrist, this wouldn't be a glove that you would go with. I do like the tapering of the fist. There are some gloves where they begin to taper a lot higher up in the fist. But these gloves here, the tapering is a lot lower and a lot more natural towards your own wrist, your natural wrist, and it fits very well. Flexibility, there's not a lot of flexibility in the palm while wearing these gloves. High guard is gonna be kind of high, your elbow is gonna be higher because you can't necessarily open your palm. Parrying, not too much parrying is gonna be done with these gloves. And not a lot of opening, but at the same time, this specific glove, the Cleto Reyes Trainers, is not a glove I recommend for sparring. Very good training, very good on the bags, very good on the mitts, very loud feedback. You're gonna hear these gloves when they're being used on the bag. When anybody that's near you wearing these, you're gonna know it's Cleto Reyes. But I do not recommend wearing these gloves for sparring. Very stiff padding, very unforgiving, not much cushion, not much flexibility. Your sparring partner will not be happy if he sees you wearing a pair of Cleto Reyes, because he's gonna feel a lot of the damage. Overall length of the glove, it comes about halfway down my forearm. Not very long, not on the short side. It's kind of average for a boxing glove. The leather on a pair of Cleto Reyes gloves is actually one of the top leathers in the world. Like I said, the smell of a Cleto Reyes leather is unbelievable. So good, such good leather. You know, you can still, like I said, you can still find these gloves from decades old, still in great leather condition. The paint, as you can see, there's no paint chipping. I haven't really ran into a Cleto Reyes glove with a lot of paint chipping, a lot of paint issues. These gloves, they're very durable. The paint, it stands the test of time. The logo, not a lot of fading on this stuff. I've had these gloves for 13 months now, and there's no peeling on the logo. The logo is still intact, very readable, no fading, no peeling. This glove specifically, the Cleto Reyes brand glove, the training glove, is not a very protective glove, like I said, for sparring, because it is a puncher's glove. This glove, when you land, it's gonna be felt. Your partner's gonna feel it. The bag is gonna feel it. The mitts, is gonna be hurt. This is a puncher's glove. I'm not sure what the composition of the padding is. I believe it's just foam. These gloves do not have horsehair, obviously. It's just foam and different layers of foam. Brand new. These gloves, brand new. You can still find them on the Cleto Reyes website or even on Amazon. For last time I looked, $228. It might even go on higher than that, you know, given the times that we're in right now. But I still feel like for the type of glove, it is a decent value. There are more expensive gloves that aren't as good as a Cleto Reyes gloves, but at the same time, there are cheaper options that are as good and maybe even a little better. That'll be for future videos, because we will be reviewing many other gloves. We do have, like I said, 50 pairs and counting, so we're gonna be doing plenty of reviews. Now, to give these gloves a score out of 10, I would give this specific glove, the Cleto Reyes training glove, a 7 out of 10. Could have went higher if this wrist was more stable, more stiff. And I'm not a fan of the width of this glove. The width of this glove, the knuckle width, even in comparison to the lace-up version of a Cleto Reyes, is a lot wider, which I'm not totally a fan of. That's personal preference, to each his own. But me, myself, this is a very wide glove. But, you know, at the end of the day, 7 out of 10, I feel, is a fair score for a Cleto Reyes training Velcro glove. So if you're in the market for a pair of Cleto Reyes gloves, I'd say it's a good deal. You know, even I'm not a person that's against buying used gloves. 90% of my gloves, I bought them used. So but you'll be seeing them in the future. But like I said, tune in. We're gonna have more videos coming up. You will see my son, you know, coming up soon. He might even do a video himself without me. We have lots of content to come up, you know, to present to everyone. Like I said, this is our first video, our first review. It might seem awkward at first, but it is what it is.